Hey guys, DesolatorMagic here, and it's time for what my channel is most famous for, coverage of the pro Magic scene. This time around, I'm only covering it because of one particular angle that if you follow me on Twitter is not going to be a surprise for you. So, I was wondering, okay, why the hell hasn't Travis posted his results yet? It turns out the tournament hasn't happened yet. Really goes to show how much I give a crap about the pro level of Magic. I also had to check if it was a GP or a pro tour. Apparently it's a pro tour. But Star City Games, being the manipulative dicks that they are, they always throw a huge tournament first so that they can, spike the prices and manipulate prices allegedly before all the prices just dip across the board when everybody opens their crap and starts buy listing it. Plus, it's kind of like, the states when it comes to U.S. voting. Oh, who gets the very first primary? Oh, I actually forgot. Ohio? I don't know, whatever. Oh, and then we look important. Everything's about Ohio. Ooh, look at Ohio and how amazing they are, and they're going to decide the president because they had the earliest primary. It's kind of like that, but with tournaments. Like, oh, Star City Games is determining what the top net decks are. Let's all go to Star City Games' website and look at the coverage. Yay, Star City Games, even though everybody knows what kind of reputation their crap company has. So, people are starting to get concerned when they saw the results from the Star City Games tournament, because the top 10 decks, 8 of them were the same damn deck, basically. And it was something people started complaining about just a little bit after I did. Finally some of the slower horses are crossing the line in this race. It's the crazy cat lady, Felidar, Guardian, whatever, Sihili Rai combo. And to all the idiots who said, oh, you just shock her. It's so disruptible. It's not as bad as you said. Well, the entire pro scene and the entire tournament scene seems to be on my side of things because they top 10 to 8 times. So I guess when you're running red, white, blue, you could run turn aside, maybe. Now, from what I heard, because, God knows I'm not going to go look up the deck lists and study them and memorize them and do the math on them, because that's totally not what I do. But people are telling me they just stall, and then unleash the combo, and then they've got the cards to cover it. So it's basically exactly the way Splinter Twin played. I mean, Splinter Twin, if they thought you had something, you had too many cards in your hand, or they cheated with Cataxian Probe, thank God it's now banned, and they knew that you were going to stop it, like you were going to blow up their creature, they'd have a remand ready to either send your spell back to hand or to send their own spell back to hand and burn your spell. So apparently that's what they do. They wait until, they've got 1 extra blue mana in addition to the combo and then turn aside or negate or, whatever. Or they can just plus, 1 or 2 or whatever the hell on Sihili, and then you got her covered, sort of, to an extent. Plus, I think she gives you, more cards or something. It's really messed up the way it's that synergistic. So I think we've only seen the tip of the iceberg because, honestly, Star City Games attendees are not the brightest people on the planet. I don't think the Pro Tour is going to show that much either, honestly. We'll see what the GPs have. But in my estimation, the vast majority of the attendees at a Pro Tour are not actual pros. If it's somebody's first Pro Tour, or they're just a total amateur, or they got there by net decking and they're not even that good of a player, or they're that good of a player but they don't know anything about deck building, pretty much in any of those cases, they're just going to go to the Star City Games tournament, look at it, and then buy whatever just won. Well, technically Sihili Rai didn't take first or second, but it took every single spot below that. And you can't just say, oh, something came in first, it's better. I mean, no, there's too much variance, too much human factor, all of that. So that's a little bit of a problem because that means a ton of people are going to bring that deck. They think it's their best chance of winning, and they're not very creative. They can't think for themselves. They don't know how to do math. They don't know how to build their own deck. And then some of the smarter pros are going to look at what beats Sihili Rai and play that, which, unfortunately, with red, white, blue and that level of control is practically nothing. I mean, from what I heard from people playing an MTGO and people copying these decks, it's not pretty. They can stop anything, and if they can't, they'll sideboard in something that'll stop anything. So it's basically, oh look, Esper Dragons, Jeskai Control, back in cons. It's the same thing. You couldn't stop it. And if you could stop it, they'll make sure you can't after they sideboard. That's the problem with 3-color decks. They honestly need to do something to get people to stop playing 3-color. They could even drop it to 2-color because that's more reasonable. But 3-color, you can just do anything. You could run away with some stupid 4-4 combo and dominate a tournament with it. I mean, naturally, if you were to not help it, not boost it, no scry draw, no covering, just waiting for the cards to show up, it's something around a 12% chance. I think it's actually an 11% chance that you'll see those 2 cards together in your hand by turn 3. So you have to help it. You got to mulligan, you've got to draw, you got to do all this other crap. Or you've got to have enough time to have enough turns to draw the combo. So we're talking anticipate. I assume they're probably running contingency plan because, I mean, come on, Scry 5, come on. But then the whole time they're blowing up, exiling your stuff, doing damage, Kozilek's return. I mean, I have no idea what's really in these decks, but I would assume that's probably what they're playing. You know, removal, stall, kill. And then they get out the combo and they can cover it. So quite literally nothing can stop it. And it's never good when that happens. And also a lack of variety is not good. That's when people start to complain. You see, there's a huge Hippocratic discrepancy in what people say they want and what they actually want in Magic. What they say they want is to just go look at what is clearly the top deck so that they can order it and dominate at the local level. That's what they want to do. They want it to be obvious so that they can be lazy and net deck. But then at the same time, nobody else gets to play that deck but them because they're going to whine about mirror matches, and nobody else should buy the cards but them because, that it drives up the price and standard costs too much and they're going to whine about it. So that's the average typical net decker for you. They're going to just completely have like, what do you call that? A mental dissonance or whatever. I don't even know what it's called, but you guys get it. What they actually want, evidently, is a high variety of decks so that you can actually just pick something. People got favorite colors, they got favorite mechanics, they got favorite play styles. Some people like aggressive, some people like control. Okay, so I remember quite a while ago, some tournament happened, some Star City Games, Atrocity or whatever, and all 8 of the decks were pretty drastically different from each other. And people, they were taking screenshots and commenting on it, saying how great this is. Oh my gosh, it's so great. You could play anything. No $40 cards. Just pick whatever you want and play it. Whichever stupid net deck you feel the most comfortable with. And then people like me got excited because we're like, oh my God, there's no clear winner. All these decks are beatable. They all have weaknesses. I can build whatever I want, and as long as it's a strong deck in general, I can beat these people. Not I'll get completely shut down. Nobody likes oppressive decks that dominate and cut out everything by themselves. For example, the Eldrazi in Modern. People weren't a big fan of that. Those decks were just so damn fast, and they would dodge removal. It was just stupid. So now that cat cloning is dominating at least one tournament, it's looking pretty grim for Ireland. People are already starting to complain. And, I was complaining about the design of Aether Revolt the second I saw the first couple spoilers. I think we were 7 spoilers in, and I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Obviously, Aether Revolt was designed just to sell packs. That is it. They are selling out the future in the long term for short-term pack sales, and that's all they care about. So they made the most powerful set printed in the last at least couple years, and, here we go. What's the result of it? Well, you've got all these wide open cards, like anytime an ETB effect happens, clone it. Anytime a creature enters the battlefield, generate this, generate a counter, generate a servo, generate an energy. Oh, and by the way, we got free unlimited self-flicker and flicker cards and, just all kinds of ways that a creature would enter the battlefield. You can't put crap like that together and just say, okay, guys, go build whatever you want and expect people to not come up with super weapons, just oppressive decks that just cut out everything below them. And so that's what people did, and that's what people did with Kaladesh, and they had to ban the top 3 decks. That's what they did. They hit all 3 of them across the board. Delirium with no Smuggler's Copter, okay, that was... It's a little downgrade. It wasn't insane. The Emrakul deck without Emrakul, okay, that took a pretty big hit. And then the blue-white control deck without Reflector Mage, that was a huge hit. They had to cut the head off of all 3 of those decks because literally nothing could beat those decks. Even I couldn't think of anything that would beat those decks reliably. So here we go again, but times 10. I mean, these 3 colors, red, white, blue, they can always cover themselves. And they made some of the best removal and some of the best counter spells ever printed. If I'm not mistaken, I think you can counter an instant for 1, and then you can counter a spell that targets one of your permanents for 1. So just throw those 2 in, and there you go. Can't disrupt my combo. Now, you guys know I hate it when Wizards prints cookie cutter Yu-Gi-Oh crap, where it's, oh, do you want to build werewolves or spirits or vampires? Those are your 3 options. And we laid out pretty much the whole deck. We might as well have just made pre-made decks because you're just all going to build the same damn deck. Oh, spirits, humans, vampires, werewolves, or whatever the hell else it was. Those are your choices. Build one of them. If you try to come up with your own deck, it's going to be weaker than these because everything's tribal and we built the decks for you. You can see why I wouldn't like that, but then they went nuts with the power level when they went wide open, and I mean wide the hell open. And a lot of the wide open cards are colorless, which is where they went even crazier. You can't just have Dynavolt in there and then, oh, let's just pick the best energy generation from every single color. You can't just throw an animation module and just let anybody do anything with any color mix. You can't just let any color run Walking Ballista. Too many of the good cards are colorless, which means people can run them in anything. And so the whole Panharmonicon works with any effect in the game just about. You can't just leave stuff like that in the game. You can't do that. It doesn't work. You end up with broken decks. I mean, day one when I saw these cards as the spoilers were coming out, they weren't even all out, and I'm like, well, that's broken, that's broken, that's broken, that's broken, that's unfair. What the hell went wrong in the design of this deck or this set? And we had 5-10% of the cards spoiled. That's just how my brain works. I can see patterns way unusually quickly. Like I said, I scared people at the last Christmas party because I solved the word unscramble at about 1 word per second and finished it in 60 seconds. Well, it took like 3 seconds to write the word, but they thought I cheated. They thought it was like a joke or something. But no, I can sense patterns abnormally because there's something wrong with my brain, let's be honest. But yeah, I was looking at these like, well, I bet that chains with something. I bet that chains with something. Wait, that card goes with that. And before I have time to, jump on the Gatherer and search for every single card and actually build the deck, I had a pretty good sense that something was a little messed up. Well, at this point, everybody's playing catch up and they are pissed. I didn't even look at the deck list, but I suspect that the Wandering Fumarole Zero Flip and the Unlimited Boost guy, that is the same colors, red, white, blue, as Saheeli Rai, and the best control and stall and protection is in those colors. Oops. So they're going to have to ban something again. Everybody's going to get pissed because, $40 per Saheeli or whatever it hit. I think it was like 20 recently, though. Fell a little bit. I'm sure it's back up at this point. And I'm sure Star City Games bought up about 1,000 copies worldwide because that's what they do. So actually, I hope solely because of that they ban the card. They're actually probably going to ban, obviously, Felidar, but if Saheeli drops to $5 because of it, and Star City Games lose like $1 million, I would laugh my butt off. That would be some funny crap. Card hoarders deserve everything bad that happens to them in life, even if it's not MTG related. If they get struck by lightning, good. Apparently, Zeus didn't approve of their methods then. So people going into Ireland are already speculating on Twitter, forums, everything like, oh my God, this looks like a disaster. Like they can see the big black clouds blowing into Ireland and they're like, this is going to be a Category 5 crap storm. This is Eldrazi 2.0. Oh my God, what the hell is wrong with Wizards? Wizards who designed a 3-vote like crap, which I'm glad you're all finally seeing things my way. I'd give you a big told you so, but I think we're all pretty pissed enough already. I don't really need to add more gasoline to that fire. So it'll be interesting to see, though, because you never know how many people are going to come in with just specific decks, main boards, or even sideboards that can shut down the Saheeli Rai combo. Maybe. So you never really know what's going to win. I mean, it's hard to plan for that and Delirium. Those are kind of 2 different things, but I don't know. There is no graveyard clearing anyway. Oh, and by the way, Tormod's Crypt is going to be an Amonkhet, or My Name is Stephanie. Okay, I almost guarantee that. In fact, they might even throw Cranial in there too, because they have to shut down the set before it or nobody will buy it. So I think as soon as the Pro Tour is over, people are going to be pissed and people are going to stop playing Standard. That's just how it is. Unless something really wild happens, I mean, it's never good when the variety shrinks. People say they don't want variety because they just want to play the most powerful deck. But like I said, they complain about prices, they complain about mirror matches, and they even complain about people who build a deck that just kills their deck because they're sick of it. And then they beat them with a, quote, do nothing, rogue deck, $20, blah, it's all luck, blah, 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 If one deck with some stupid janky combo that you can cover starts winning, people are literally going to play a no creature blue-black mill deck, which is barely doable at this point, with nothing but removal and counterspells. Okay, you can't play against 40 removal and counterspells. Trust me, that nothing could play against that. That's kind of the point. And then they just loop like Startled Awake or something. I mean, there's no Sphinx's tutelage. That's why nobody's playing mill. But if we have to, us rogue deckers will resort to milling, okay? Milling is like the great equalizer because nothing can beat it. And there is, coincidentally, no graveyard recycling, which is why Delirium is so good. So that's kind of irony there, or at least a funny coincidence. So would I be surprised at the end of the day if a couple people at the top of Ireland turn out with Aetherflux Reservoir? No, not at all. I mean, that is basically Affinity, or I think Cheerios, somebody told me it's like. I don't honestly know anything about that deck. That deck's pretty damn hard to beat because it's got blue control behind it, which is what's powering the red, white, blue decks. So I think just, from what I've seen in X-Mage, they're powerful. They're hard to stop. They are very, very, very not messing around. The big old 50 bombers, I mean, they have alternate win conditions and stuff. It ain't pretty. They got some free equipped swing monsters. I mean, it's really something. So by sheer coincidence, by just bad luck, maybe it didn't win Star City games. Maybe people got too hyped on the forums about the Saheeli Rai combo and thought they'd try it, and too many people succeeded with it. I don't know. But do I think we're just going to see the same stupid deck win all of Ireland? Yeah, probably in all likelihood. And then people are going to just about riot. If people are going to smash up a Bank of America and burn a limo just because, okay, I think the chronology of this is wrong, but I'm going to stick with it. Just because Trump banned people based on their country and not at all their religion in any way. If people are going to be that stupid, I'm pretty sure they're going to burn a whole limo factory when they see Saheeli Rai in the entire top 16. I'm calling it right now. They will go straight up Middle Eastern frickin' FedEx Kinko's giant cardboard printout George W. Bush, except it'll be Saheeli Rai, burning that sucker in the streets, man. They're gonna burn her like it's Salem. By the way, I don't believe they actually ever burned anybody at the Salem witch trials. I think that's kind of made up. Lots of great examples in this video. So the question of the day, because I always love hearing from you guys in the comments section, some of you, do you think that more people will quit Standard by Saheeli Faladar sweeping the entire tournament, and then people are just like, screw this, I'm out. Wizards doesn't know how to design a set. Aether Revolt is garbage, bye-bye. Or do you think more people will quit, I should say Standard, not the game. More people will quit Standard over them banning Faladar? Because I think we all know that's coming. Which one will lose them more players out of their player base? And for bonus points, what percent? Now, we're never going to, see which is true because Wizards would never release that information. I wish they would. I wish somebody would just hack them or something and literally show the attendance numbers for F&M on a graph for the last 3 years. That would be interesting. Not that I'm encouraging anybody to do that. Do not. But make your vote anyway. Even though we won't find out the results, vote anyway. Oh, and also, for those of you wondering what I'm going to do for my 500th video, this is the 517th video, so I guess we've already answered that one. I did actually have something special planned, and then 500 came up really quickly, and I've been sick for 5 days. But there has been one request on my channel that I haven't done yet, or addressed yet, that has been requested more than anything else. And I'm still not going to make that video because that's a giant waste of money and I don't have that much money, but we are going to revisit that topic. So given those clues, what do you guys think it is? And you're only going to get this if you were watching approximately 400 videos ago. Something like that. It was at least last winter. I mean, there was snow on the ground and it wasn't this winter, so it was a while ago. So I think we're going to revisit a certain video, kind of Mythbusters style. That might be another little hint for you. Also, it's horrifically dangerous and stupid, and I really shouldn't even do it indoors. That kind of gives it away. So we'll see who can guess it first. You won't get a prize. I don't have any money, but I'll, pin your comment or something. So leave your guess below. Leave your vote for what's going to lose the most people out of Standard. And, yeah, don't forget to jump on the hate wagon in a couple days. I'll see you guys next video.